to the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. And my name is Gilbert. I represent Metals 100 interview series. Welcome to the show today. We're here very glad to have the CEO of Lithium Ionic, Blake Hylands, here with us to talk a bit about the company. Blake, how are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
And maybe you can start off just giving us a brief overview about your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lithium Ionic is a Brazilian-based hard rock spodumene project in the Minas Gerais state. It's located directly beside Sigma Lithium, for anybody who is familiar with that project. We're through our first two resources, and we're going to have a feasibility and a resource update next month in February. And we've already submitted for our construction license, which we hope to have back in the summer of this year. So we're moving very, very quickly, and we think we have a clear path to production in the next 24 months.
Great to hear. So let's start off talking about the jurisdiction, Brazil. So why do you choose to work in there for lithium exploration?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think Brazil is a big country, and not all of Brazil is equal as far as moving projects forward. But there's a couple of things I would point out. I mean, first and foremost is we're in one of the most important pegmatite districts in the world. It's extremely unique for the quality, grade, the lack of deleterious material, and the general overall ability to grow. So geologically extremely important. And then also, we're in the Minas Gerais state, which means general mining in Portuguese. It's a state that is familiar with permitting, moving projects forward, and ultimately that's going to help us be one of the first movers in actually bringing spodumene online for a really growing market.
And you've mentioned about Sigma Lithium. So yeah. This is the company who came to our conference 3 years ago, presented, and gone on to done quite well. And so can you tell us a bit about how do you compare Sigma, let's say back a few years ago, because it's an important company who grew from exploration to become a producer in Brazil?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Anna's done a good job there, and they are a great example of a company that's been able to take a project, ramp up production quickly and exploration very quickly. They were able to permit quickly. There's a strong blueprint there for us to follow, and ultimately, a blueprint that shows a clear path to creating a lot of value. To your point, I'm sure when they were here previously, maybe they were a $100 million or $200 million company. They're now a $3 to $4 billion company, and that's the kind of valuation gap we look to close as a $150, $200 million company. We're coming behind with the same kind of story.
So what are some of your key milestones you've done in the last couple of years to arrive to this stage?
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, we're a young company. We went public in May of 2022, and since then we've discovered deposits. We've added land packages. We've done two resources. We're now over 30 million tons. Of spodumene in our belt at 1.4%, very high grade. And next month we'll have an updated resource to that, where I think we're going to be in excess of 50 million tons of indicated, inferred, measured, and that will feed right into a feasibility study at the same time. So we're moving along very, very quickly. I could go through lots and lots of catalysts, but I think the most important thing here is that we've submitted for that construction license. We expect to see that in the summer of this year, and we're going to be in a position to start building this project within the next 12 months.
So one of the major factors affecting the lithium companies, the lithium price last year have dropped quite a bit. And what's your thoughts on this whole supply and demand, and what you're thinking for this year? How does will lithium price rebound this year?
Yeah, Gilbert, it's a really good question. I think we are going to see it rebound a little bit this year, but I do caution people. I've always marketed this story to not worry so much about $8,000 or $9,000 spodumene price. We don't need it in these projects. They're low cost to produce. They're low cost to build. This is $230 million capex, right? And all-in sustaining cost of $550 a ton for spodumene. So we don't need $9,000, and we're probably in a healthier market when we see $2,000 to $3,000 spodumene price. That's extremely high margin business. We put out a PEA mid last year using an 1850 price, and came up with a 1.6 billion post-tax NPV, and we're still growing that story. So, we have great economics on this project. I think on the macro, we're going to see a bit of a rebound. We're already seeing stabilization in the price of lithium. I think we're going to see a little bit of a bounce back, but hopefully it's not quite as volatile as it has been over the last couple of years, and we get into a kind of a steady business of managing, manageable prices for the conversion facilities and the full kind of downstream right into the EV movement and back to the project.
Wait, to wrap this all up, I would like to know Because as an investor's point of view, there are so many lithium companies out there. So how do you compare the rest of the lithium peers, and why should investors consider investing into your company?
Yeah, so I think the first and foremost, I'm a geologist by background. One of the most important things here is you're in an extremely unique geological environment where you can't just find that anywhere in the world, right? And spodumene is extremely important to be able to feed the demand that's coming online now. We can move very, very quickly. So we have, a high-grade product that can be produced at a low cost. We can move into production much faster than most projects. So when I start comparing us to other parts of the world, we can move into production 4, 5, 6 years faster than most of our peer group. And the product we're going to produce is going to be at a much higher quality than a lot of our peer group as well. So we try to focus on that and just keep hitting the hurdles and growing the project.
So thank you for sharing your story with us, Blake, today. I hope you have a good show here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.